Greetings, everyone. Hope all of you are having an absolutely fantastic day. A couple of days ago, I live streamed the demo for Hunter's Moon, a Sovereign Syndicate Adventure. Now, let me say right up front, this game combines two different aspects that usually I do not touch at all, but I've made an exception because it is being done by Crimson Herring. First and foremost, it is a deck builder type of game, which I almost never play. Second of all, it is also a roguelike, which again is a type of game I almost never play. But Crimson Herring, for those who are not aware, is the same dev studio that made Sovereign Syndicate, a CRPG that came out either earlier this year or last year. Either way, I immensely enjoyed it. I thought it had really cool mechanics, an incredible lore and world that they had built. And this game is based in that same world. So with all of that together, I decided, you know what? I will go ahead and give it a shot. And I'm actually glad that I did, because I had a really fun time with it. So with that, let me go over some of the things that I liked regarding the game, and then some of the things that I feel like they're going to have to work on before the full game releases. Speaking of which, I don't know when the full release is actually going to occur. So once I have that information, I'll definitely share it. But regardless, obviously, I'm going to continue covering CRPGs and probably just about anything Crimson Herring makes. So if that interests you, be sure to subscribe and hit that like button so you can get more information. So first and foremost, I really enjoy the art in this game. I think it does a great job of showcasing a world that has really dark and creepy monsters, but at the same time has a real cyberpunk flair. And so whether it's the heavy armor that your inventor character is able to use, or the guns that Molly, the character you use for most of the demo, is able to deploy, there's that really cool cyberpunk vibe that Sovereign Syndicate had going on that Hunter's Moon absolutely takes full advantage of. In addition, the art on the cards looks fantastic. It's a real joy to get new cards, not just because of the things that they do, but also just to see some of the options that you didn't even know were available. So all in all, I never got tired of looking at the game. Now, what Hunter's Moon also really has going for it is really cool mechanics. There's a lot of layers to what your character can do. So if you're in a fight and you look at the lower left, you will see that there's a red bar representing your health, and then there's a blue bar that actually represents your nerve. So health is pretty obvious, but nerve is something that can be used up while you're traveling around. So basically, if you want to do something really creepy, or you decide to undertake a task that is unnerving, for lack of a better phrase, it's going to take away some of your nerve. And I think if that reaches zero, you could end up dying, or basically having to go back to home base. But there are ways to get some of your nerve back as well. Now, directly below the bars, you can see some points in yellow. Usually it's going to be some number out of 3. And those are your action points. You use your action points in order to actually use the card. So each card is going to have a number in the upper left that'll tell you how many points you would have to use in order to deploy these cards. And it is actually possible, based on some of the different features you have added to yourself, for you to have more than the usual 3 action points. Even early in the game, I had situations where I had 4, maybe even 5 points available for me to disperse how I please. So that was really cool. Now, directly below your health and nerve bars are some slots where you can have tarot cards. Tarot cards are passive effects that can add really cool things for your character and change some of the dynamics of how you use powers. Now, in the upper left of your portrait, you can see slots for consumables. So there are a ton of consumables in the game, and they'll do things like deal damage to all enemies, or perhaps give you more action points, all sorts of cool stuff. So it's a way to try to extend your run as long as possible. And then below that area in the lower left, you'll see how many times you can deploy your special action. So each character, and there are multiple different characters who you'll be able to use in the full game, but for the demo, you can only use Molly. But each character has their own special action, and that special action can be developed and changed in different ways as you go through a run. So in the case of Molly, her special action allows her to do electric damage to a random enemy each time you click that option, and using that option does not cost you any action points. By the time I finished my run, I had upgraded it to the point that not only did it randomly damage an enemy, but it also applied vulnerability, which caused any attacks that I did against that enemy to deal 50% more damage. So really powerful stuff that can definitely help you in a pinch. And once again, it looks like there's a nice variety of different characters you'd be able to use, and I would assume that each one has their own special abilities. So I'm definitely looking forward to finding out what are some of the other different options. Keep in mind that the enemies you face have mechanics that are just as varied. So they have a lot of different buffs and heals and way to give themselves blocks. So you can put block on yourself so that enemies who attack you will have to hit the block first before they get their health. Some enemies have the ability to just automatically give themselves more block every single turn, making it really hard to punch through their defenses. It just felt like all the time I was learning about a different foe and what they can do and trying to figure out ways to counter them. And you can't choose which cards you get every round, and so you kind of just have to make the best of whatever you have. Really cool stuff. And on a similar token, from what I saw, building up your deck was definitely going to be enjoyable as well. There are a ton of different cards to choose from and a plethora of ways for you to either upgrade your card, get new rare cards, or remove cards that you no longer want to have to use. And so if you're willing to put in the time investment, you could create a really strong, powerful deck that's going to make combat much easier for you. Now, that was all the things that I liked about the game, but I definitely feel like there are some areas of opportunity, so let's go over that as well. Basically, all of these are going to fall under the category of the game is a demo. And hopefully this stuff is going to get fleshed out and taken care of in between now and when the full game releases, but we'll see. So first and foremost, definitely felt like the game didn't provide the player with enough information. So take that with a grain of salt, because again, I usually don't play deck builders and I usually don't play roguelikes. And so because of that, there were some rookie mistakes that I made that maybe a player who was more experienced in these types of games would not have made. For example, right at the start of my first run, there was a card available that said, hey, you could face like this epic monster and it would give you crazy loot or whatever. And I figured, well, the game is giving me the opportunity right at the beginning of the game to do this, so I must at least have the opportunity, if I'm skilled enough and good enough, to go ahead and defeat this monster. And yeah, that was not the case. I got absolutely steamrolled right from the start of the sequence. So that's probably the kind of mistake that someone more familiar with roguelikes might not have made. I would also say I felt like progression wasn't really clear, at least from a story standpoint. You know, I'm used to, you have a goal, you're trying to accomplish this particular goal, and then the next goal kind of stacks on top of that, right? And it's clear there's a long-term goal that you're trying to reach. Now, at the beginning of this game, the blimp crashes for an investor and he calls Molly to help him to try to figure out how to get it started back up. So that goal makes sense. But the things that you do once you start setting out don't really seem to tie in with that. And when you resolve some of these quests, it's kind of not clear. It doesn't really feel like you're progressing through a story. And so I don't know if that's because of the demo aspect of the game or if that's going to be just a shortcoming of the game overall, but it's something that I definitely felt. And just in general, there's some things that are rough around the edges. Obviously, you can only use one character, stuff of that nature, right? So I feel like there's a core here that's a lot of fun that I enjoyed, and I'm definitely looking forward to circling back to the game when the full release occurs. But there's also definitely plenty of work to be done prior to full release. But those are my thoughts. Again, keep in mind, this is all from the perspective of somebody who does not play a lot of deck builders or roguelikes. So there were some other people in the chat when I was live streaming, such as Wine God or Kunchu, folks like that, who you all have seen around before. They play these types of games more often, so they might provide a different perspective in the comments. And I would definitely say, trust them more. They know more about this genre. But for me, I definitely had a good time. I had fun, and I'm looking forward to circling back to this game once it's fully released. So again, if you want more... Oh. No, I'm not streaming. I'm just recording a video. Oh, what? You want to be in this one? Sure. Come on, darling. Sure. This is not about a video. This is not a game that I usually play. Very few people are probably even going to watch this. By all means, you want to be in it? She has been asking to be in a video for months. It's probably going to be like 500 people watch this video. So it's fine. This is my daughter, Simone. Look, she has been wanting to say hello for however long. So tell them, hey, if you're interested, repeat after me. If you are interested in Hunter's Moon, be sure to wish list it on Steam. There you go. You are being in the video. I will edit this and I will put it up just for you, darling. And the next time you're on YouTube, you can see yourself in my video. This is probably the only time I do this, because usually I am playing games that usually have nothing to do with it. All right, that's it. Go. You got homework. Go do your homework, Simone. Go do your homework, Simone. I love you. Go. Simone, homework. Love you. The joys of fatherhood. Anyway, if you enjoyed this, if you want more content, be sure to hit the subscribe button, hit that like button. There are links down below if you'd like to sign up as a member on my YouTube or a Patreon. Hope you all enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.